Hello and welcome back to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still Sharon.
Thank you all for coming back for another week of our conversations. We so appreciate each and every one of you all joining us again. If you are new to our channel, please like, subscribe, and share our videos.
Yes.
We appreciate you for that. Also, just a little blurb that we are not professionals. We are just giving, what are we doing?
Our perspectives, our experiences, and just sharing with you some of the stories and the things we've learned along this thing called life.
Exactly.
But no one, you can put us together and shake us up. You don't have a PhD. Though we are, educated black women.
Absolutely.
And we read a lot and we get
not
around to
get
that.
twisted.
That's right now. Okay, now I can pull out a couple now. Bam. No, but we just need to let you know that this is just for entertainment purposes.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say exactly the same thing. We're just coming from our own perspectives. But thank you for joining us once again. You have any announcements? Because we are excited here.
We're down to 2 weeks, baby. T-minus 14.
And it's starting to look Rainbow City.
Yeah.
So we are so looking forward to you all coming to this pride party.
She asked, do I have announcements, and she talks. That's just the relationship.
I'm excited about this pride party. I just don't understand. We're getting it together. I hope that we can see most of you all. But, I understand if we can't. But I really do hope we can get a chance to meet our subscribers.
Yeah. So more announcements. It's hot. Okay, for everybody who wanted the sun to come back to San Diego and California, yes, it did. They say it's 84. I just read 90. In the living room. So it's hot.
And it feels like 100.
It feels like 100 because it's a little humid and we're not used to that. So. Even though it's not the fair comparison, when we did a show from New Orleans, I swear we were in a swamp. And we were just sweating, we couldn't even do the whole show.
But see, I think the humidity was,
oh, it makes it worse.
Bigger there,
it's a big effect. Exactly, it's huge. Well, how can you not say humidity in Louisiana? I think they invented swamps.
But that's what made us hot, was just that humidity.
Yeah, and the sweat was just pouring. But anyway, enough of that. Today we're really excited because we have, you tell them. We got a little show for you that we had touched on many, many months ago, but we decided to go do it. Okay. So. There I go again. Look, that Gemini is ready. Pop, pop. Okay, I'm sorry, babe.
I'm excited about the party. She apparently excited about today's topic. So before we go into today's topic, as Sharon has already touched on a little bit, we're going to do our shout outs. Hey, shout outs. Our first shout out goes to Deborah's Sustainable Life.
Oh,
girl. Thank you for being a subscriber to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa. Almost forgot our conversations. Next goes to our Texas friend who just started watching our videos, and her cousin text me to say, can you give my cousin a shout out? So Miranda J, thank you for watching our shows.
Thank you. And thank your cousin too. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for just passing our videos on. We appreciate that, because that's how her cousin got it. She shared the video, and hey, now Miranda is watching us, so we appreciate you. And last but not least is Moses M. Thank you for being a subscriber to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa. We appreciate each and every one of our subscribers. And if you haven't heard your name, keep watching. It's coming. I'm getting through this list, but as we get more and more people,
the list gets longer.
Bigger, but I am getting through it. And so, we may have to bump it up to 4, but I'm going to try to keep it at 3. So we're going to see, because we're getting a lot of subscribers, which I'm not complaining. So
neither am I.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we received a few of our subscribers asked us to talk about this topic, and when Sharon brought it to me, I was like, didn't we do that already? So we kind of already touched on it when we did what was the other one, Friends and Lovers, or
Something like that.
Something similar to that. But so
she wants me to remember these things, and we have over 125 videos. Yeah, absolutely, babe. That's what it was.
No, yeah. I mean, I looked at it, but now I just can't remember the title.
Remember the title, anyway, yeah.
So
that happens with age.
Yeah. Well, y'all already know. You know what I'm saying?
I can talk.
I'm not one to remember. But so today we're going to talk about friends, now lovers. Yeah. And you can say, I guess you could say it's a part 2 of friends and lovers of the other one. But they wanted us to talk about it a little more, so we're gonna go into it a little more.
Yeah. And it's funny the way you just even roll it out. It sounds so simple, and I know it's oftentimes a common theme throughout lesbian land. It doesn't happen to everybody. But it does happen to a lot of us. You know, well, we were friends first, or, you know, she knew you were gay and she didn't know that she had them feelings too. And before you know it, and, you know, however you came into the life, however you experienced something even looking like this. But it's not unusual. It's not highly unusual for friends to become lovers. And as we say that, today we just want to talk about the pros and cons of that. Look, first of all, ain't nothing wrong with it. It happens. Like, you get love where you get love, you know, and it feels good. Connect, do it. But there are certain things that I think people could and should consider when that does happen. Yeah. Because oftentimes when a great event or something spectacular or something not so spectacular happens to you, it doesn't just happen to you. It happens to you, the people around you, your family, your friends, and all of that. Mm. So that's what I wanted. That's where I want to jump into the water at. I'll just ask just one question as before we just to even thread the needle. Have any of you who are listening this morning, have any of you become lovers with a person who started out as friends, as a friend? Has that happened to you? So if that's you, I need y'all to hear this. I'm like, we're talking to everybody, but we're really talking to you too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, like seriously, what is wrong? I'm not even saying anything wrong with it. It's not, because it happens, and because I got to be honest about it. Has it happened to me? Yes, more than once. And I'll share that part of that story with you. You going to say something, sweetie?
No, I was going to ask you, has it happened to you?
You know. Oh, I love it when she plays smart. You know,
I know, but the viewers don't.
Yeah. So here's some wonderful advantages of falling in love with your friend, and your friend now becomes your lover and your person and your sweetheart and your girlfriend and maybe even your wife. The thing is that you know each other very well. Mm-hmm. You know each other's favorite color. What's her favorite ice cream? Where she was born at, where she went to school at, even though, not that you wouldn't find these things out eventually if you were partners, but when you've been friends first, not only do you know one another, you know each other's history. Yeah.
And sometimes family. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oftentimes
when you're
family.
Talking about, Uncle Joe, they know who you're talking about. You don't have to go into, I got this uncle who blah, 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 blah. They, been there, heard it all, seen it all, and y'all still hooking up.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a great thing and not so great thing, though, because you're hooking up after this person knows this intimate stuff about you and knows how you treat other people when you're in a relationship. And if they're okay with that and still comes towards you, then that means you're doing something right.
Or they're forgiving you for all your bad shit. One or the other. You know how they say, I've seen her worse and I still love her? We hear their stories, honey. Look.
So that could be a good thing. If somebody still, wants you after they've seen your worst, after they've heard your worst, after, they've been in the midst of your worst, and if they're coming towards you, that could be a good thing, right?
Didn't know you was an alcoholic, but she's the one that bailed you out of jail. To say, meet me in Tijuana with 2 clean credit cards. Because that was the friend who came down there to come get you. Just kidding. No, it didn't happen to me. But in any event,
she talking like it did. So we're gonna keep listening. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't me. But seriously, like I say, it definitely has its advantages. There's so many things that take time in the knowing, getting to know one another when you're in a new relationship or somebody you met on the internet or a blind date or whatever. You know, you got to go from like, oh, okay, in the beginning there was me and there I was a lesbian and now I'm meeting you. No, you don't even have to tell all that, you know, when you're dealing with a friend because she knows you. She knows your stuff.
Right.
The good, bad, the ugly, the lies, the this and that. She knows that where the bodies are and helped you bury one or two.
Right,
perhaps.
right.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. If they know all of that and they still want to be in a relationship with you, I think it's a great thing. I personally don't want to be in a relationship with any of my friends.
Oh, well, look, now, I feel good about that. I hear you.
I feel
like, wait a minute, and neither do I.
I feel like a relationship should start off fresh. You know, like if you date your friends, then who you have to tell the stuff you want to talk to about your partner with. You know what I'm saying? That you don't want to talk to your partner about. So you got to have somebody there that be that third ear.
Yeah.
Just so you can release some stuff. Like, if you dating all your friends, then they already know, and you ain't got nobody else to call. So
hell, you can't even lie because you told your friend the truth, but you told your girlfriend a different
right. And you try to lie, she be like, you don't use that already. I heard that when you was with Jenny, or I heard that when you was with April, and I heard that, you know. So
you sure you haven't been there?
I am. Well,
no,
I have to backpedal because I wouldn't necessarily say we were friends. I wouldn't necessarily say that
y'all had been
we were in the same circles.
Okay.
I knew her, but it wasn't like, you know, that type of friends where they know all about you.
Right.
Like, I don't think she knew anything about me per se.
She didn't even know you were gay.
No, she didn't.
Right,
when she met me, I was definitely married too.
Well, right.
So
right.
yeah, so and we dated afterwards. After I divorced, but. So I wouldn't necessarily say we were friends. But,
no,
you know,
no, but like you said,
we
same
knew
circle.
Each other.
Right.
So I don't know if y'all want to consider that or not. But, you know, that's the closest I've come.
Right, but you can know many people in your life, but you don't know them like that. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I've been close to people maybe that I worked with years ago. We were like this, you know me, but they don't know me like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I know your address, I know your birthday and all that, but I don't know the other stuff and wasn't trying to find it out. Right. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to try to like stay in the aisle about this. You know, I'm not pro or con, but it is something for us to be mindful of.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll serve myself up first. Okay, here we go. Yes, it did happen to me, and I'll put it like this. Long-term friendship, person that I've known 10, 20, nearly 30 years. You know, and we were, as the old folks said, we pass and repass. Never looked at her as somebody like, hey, that's some hot tuna. Never even thought of her like that. Now, perhaps unbeknownst to me, she was thinking of me that way. And she had been there, you know, as a friend as I went through some hard times in the love locker. Okay, you know, I'm coming to work, you know, eyes a little swollen because I'm at the boo-hoo, you know, border, you know, with my person at the time. And she would listen and this and that. And over the years, she would express some curiosity. And then even, you know, got to the point that she would express her opinion like, oh, you're better than that. I don't know why you fall for these women. And, you know, you're such a good person. And then as years went on and I, you know, kept doing the Sharon show, you know, she was like, well, things grew with her comfort zone and said, you know, well, if I was your girlfriend, I would do this. If I was your girlfriend, I'd do that. If I was your girlfriend. You know, and
so when you were telling her about like what was going on, she'd be like, "If I was,"
but it grew to that. I mean, it didn't go in year 1, year 2, but like I said, we've known each other at that time almost 30 years. You know what I mean? So she tired of seeing my act and me, you know, growing up, throwing up, brokenhearted, or whatever I was doing in my 20s. You know, but she would just put that little plug in. So meanwhile, she went on and got married and, you know, had 2.5 kids and blah, 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 blah. You know, the marriage, 2.5 kids. The marriage died of natural causes, but she had, you know, she was a mother. And at the point, we between travels and education and the things we did with our lives, we'd run back into each other. And, you know, I've been in San Diego since 76. Well, things accelerated. She had called me. I think maybe at the time I was still in Hawaii. But anyway, she calls me. She said, Sharon, I got some news for you. I'm like, what? She says, oh, I want you to know I'm on your side of the street now. I'm with a woman. I'm like, get out of here. Look at you. Well, welcome to the club. And I'm minimizing it, but happy for her. And I'm happy for anybody. Look, you find somebody out there to love you like you love them. God bless you. Right. Well, to accelerate the story, the girl broke her heart. Things didn't go well and had a bad ending. Meanwhile, life brought her to San Diego. All right. Meanwhile, also, I was in a long-term relationship. That person died. I'm now free and I'm running the street. She comes back into my life, unbeknownst to me, like, we can do what we couldn't do before because you are free and I am too. What? I'm like she was talking a foreign language, because I had thought of her many times in friendship, but even in my most dramatic images in my mind and crazy fantasies I've had, nowhere where she would even touch that. I mean, I just never thought of her that way.
Yeah.
No. Right? Well, it's not what you do, it's when you do it. She catches me, I'm kind of like an emotional low, and I'm not making excuses. So we went from 0 to 500, in 1 month. And next thing she told me, like, she always, I've always known you were the one for me. Let's do this. I could move to San Diego, blah, 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 blah. Next thing I know, she taking measurements and shit. Well, what? What? That wasn't part of the deal. So I try to, I'm just like, okay, Sharon, you in trouble now, because, what happens if you are now seeing a person who used to be a friend, and now y'all have been sleeping with each other and laughing and joking and going to shows together, and y'all look like y'all dating each other. And it really wasn't working for me, because guess what? The friend that I liked didn't like her as a partner, and I never even asked. You know what I mean? Well, like, in my mind, she wasn't my partner, but I was doing things that partners do. You see what I'm saying? Right? So let me abbreviate the story even more. I was totally convinced within 3 months that, oh, hell no. Now here's the bad part. What do you do with the friendship?
Right.
I went on with my life. I was now dating and having a good time, partying like a sailor that just hit Thailand, right? On payday. Well, then I meet Rosa. And y'all know the rest of it. You know what I mean? Rosa and I were married within 6 months. We've been together 7 years, and I don't regret a day of it. What do you do with the person who's looking at you like, well, her intention was we can get together, we can live together. You know my children. Now you've met my grandchildren. My mother knows you. Let's go here. Let's go there. And I'm thinking, no. So what do you think? The final rinse is, we're no longer friends. We can't be friends because of whatever happened while she and I were trying to make something that wasn't supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So here it is. The bad part of that is you lose a friend because she was trying to make you her lover. I don't want to be with her. I knew that. That was not what my heart was saying. That's not what common sense was saying. That's not what was turning me on. But you do what you want to do. You know how to say, well, why did you do it? Well, she was home. I'm not going to minimize it that way. I'm not going to cheapen it. The thing is, she's a very, very nice woman. She's a kind person. She's a child of God, and she'll do anything for anybody. If she can help you, she will. She's a good person. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't do it, sweetie. And now there is no friendship. She's not my partner. I went on with my life. I'm happily married to my boo. And see what happens when you mess around with somebody who should have just been your friend. Though I knew it. I knew it from Jump Street. I'm older. Right. I'm a little...
Well, she was older too.
Well, she's not as old as me.
Oh.
You know what I mean? She ain't older than me. I know I got to be, I think, about 8 or 9 years older than her. But anyway, but this is what I'm saying to y'all. Just because you guys are great friends don't mean that means you would be great lovers. And now sometimes it works out fine. But in between, from the people who it works out fine with and the people who shouldn't, and you can't unring the bell. Once you do it, ding.
Right.
You know that crack in the Liberty Bell? They couldn't fix it. That's why that crack is still there. You can't unring that. You can't say, "Oh, let's pretend it never happened."
But I think too. I mean, you can never unring it, so that is true. But as friends, because, you know, take what Sharon was saying, for instance, with her friend, you know, if I was your girlfriend, this, I would do this. So it sounds like in her mind, she already had this illusion of what the relationship could be.
Right.
But as friends, that's something, if you do like one of your friends, it's something you need to put out there, because if they are like Sharon, you don't want to, you know, box them in and then everything is kind of murky, because now it's like the elephant in the room. Yeah, we slept together, now what? You know,
sometimes, right. I don't mean like, oh, you know, you got high and I was crazy and it just happened. It wasn't like that, because I ain't that crazy.
Yeah, so I just think, you know, you need to have that conversation about if it was to happen or go that way. You know, who, like, girl, we can't be hooking up. We cool. You know what I'm saying? So you can get a sense of what the other person feels. Now, I know Sharon says she's not trying to minimize it, and she's not, because I've heard the story before. But at the same time, this woman who has been her friend, who has been there through thick and thin for 30 years, came into her life at a point where her partner died. So she wasn't even thinking straight half of the time, I'm sure. Like, I mean, some of you all may know what that feels like and some don't. I personally do not. But at the same time, I know what vulnerability is. And I understand that, you know, people catch you during that time. Because honestly, the woman I hooked up with, I was going through a divorce. And so I was kind of confused and going through a lot of stuff too. I think a lot of, and she was too. She was divorcing this other woman, and we shared something in common. And so the more we spoke about it, the closer we became. And it's like, oh, okay, well then you're going through something, I'm going through something, let's just hook up. So people do catch you, you know, at a point in your life, whereas it could be, you know, not the best time. So that's why it's important to talk to your friend before something like that happen. If y'all cool like that, then it could be a conversation. It doesn't have to be like a romantic, oh girl, you know, I'd sex you up. But, you know, like, if you were free and I was free, could it be a us? Or if, you know, like, you have to start that conversation, because the other person may not be feeling that way. And if something happens to them where they are a little vulnerable, then you don't want to take advantage of that.
Right. Or be taken advantage of.
Right.
Or both, right. You know what I mean? Because just because you ain't thinking about it don't mean that she ain't plotted on it or thought about it too.
Exactly.
You know?
So
and then you have
cool, it's a good time to
then
have
you got that Hollywood element where, you know, I thought about you and I've been having dreams about you, and I really thought, and in my dream, and you were there, well, you were in my dream too, and they kiss and they've been together for the next 37 years. Well, not all. It can happen. I'm sure it does happen, but seldom. So I'm just saying, you know, it's not just what happens when it comes upon you. And there are some people who, they're just good friends, and there's no way in the world they can see each other in any other role in their life. You know, but sometimes you just don't know, you know, when true love is going to walk into your life. So, and if any of you think that I'm talking out both sides of my mouth, it's just that I can understand it. And yes, it happened to me, but that ain't how I normally roll. You see what I'm saying? Because you know, when Rosa met me, one thing she said, you know a lot of women. I said, you know, and I said, yeah, I do. You know, and I'm one of those, you know, women like, I don't know, she butch or straight. No, I'm just sharing. Wear my makeup. You know, you won't ever catch me without my lipstick. Love women. I love the idea of women being around me. But everyone also knows that Sharon loves Rosa. And I don't care if you come in front of me, you know, greased down, you know, wet and breathing heavy. You can't do nothing for me other than put on some clothes, because you're not worth me hurting my Rosa, and I'm not feeling you like that anyhow. No, I'm just not. You know what I mean? I'm just calling a spade a spade. You know, this is my boo. You know what I mean? and then not only do I know a lot of women, they're feminine women. I know butchers and stuff like that, and God bless them, you know, cool, but I don't usually roll with them. You know what I mean? I don't wear men's clothes. I don't you know what I'm saying? If you, as Rosa said, if I did not know you were gay, I would not know you were gay, because she didn't see that I was presenting that way. I just present as me. And that's authentic for me. And that, you know, so but anyhow, we've talked about that before. So what we're talking about today is what happens when friends become lovers. You know, and you know, there's times when it can really work.
Yes.
And you hear those beautiful stories, and they're true, and it's lovely, and
But
wow.
we know a couple. The people we used to play bunco with.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah. Oh, I know.
They grew up. They were both married to men. And they were friends, and you know, talking about relationship stuff within their marriage. And now they are both divorced from the men,
right?
And they hooked up, and they have gone on with their life and doing
and
well.
They're raising raising their grandchildren together. And as one said, you know, it's like every time when I don't feel good, I think of you and I feel better. Yeah. Anytime I have a problem, I come to you first.
Yeah.
You know, it was to like, why do I have a husband when you're the one I love?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they both came to the, you know, the same realization kind of like at the same time, and they're having a wonderful relationship.
So
and
it can happen.
It can. It can happen. But so the other part is what happens is one's feeling one way and the other one's not, which happened to me. You know, like I'm always going to love women. I wasn't loving that woman, but I wanted to be with a woman, but surely not a long-term friend.
Yeah.
And also your friends know all your shit. You know, here's a downside. You can't even lie to your friend who's now your lover. Okay? You know, like, I remember it was back there in 94. They know your shit because you shared everything with them.
That's what I'm saying.
They know you.
To talk to if you dating them. Like I want to be able to have that avenue where if I just need to vent, I need somebody to listen. And if I don't have anybody, it's like, I can't.
Right, and I'm not, and I don't think we are, but you know, I'm not, you know, preaching doom and gloom. It's just that you know you got this wonderful friend, and now you're losing that wonderful friend who's now this wonderful partner of yours. And you know how they say you got to give up something to get something. You do give up something because now you got this wonderful woman in your life and in your heart. But now where's your friend at? Yeah. And then this is what the woman will say, your partner will say, well, I could still be your friend.
We were best friends before.
Look. And that's some truth in that.
Yeah, because it's not to say that you're not best friends. I feel like Sharon is my best friend, and I can tell her anything. But there's sometimes that she just may be driving me up a wall, and you just want to, you know, when you're talking to somebody, be like, girl, everything okay? Girl, Sharon driving me up a wall. Even if it's that part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not that I can't say that to Sharon because I have. And do. But at the same time, I'm just saying that for an example. You know, like you just want to be able to just vent and be able to have, you know, that fine line of that friendship, whereas that's what that's about, and it's not necessarily sexual between us. Like I personally, like I said earlier, don't want to date any of my friends because I see them as just that.
Yeah. And Rose is around a lot of women as well, you know what I mean? And younger women than her, you know what I mean? So, and it's, as I say, my 10 friends tend to be a little older, I'm sorry, a little younger, and hers seem to be older. So, Rose is 51 now, so, you know, she's hanging, you know, doing double dutch and stuff with the girls in their 40s. Yeah. Right, you know, now how you feel, old lady, you know, I'm in 60s as well, you know what I mean. So I got a couple of friends that if something terrible came upon me, there's two people who I would talk to. No editing, no excuses, just this is the way it is. Do you have a minute to talk to me? And those are my two friends from high school. We've been friends for 50 years, you know, plus, you know, so it's gone way back to my Philly days, but they've never betrayed me. There's never been nobody's jealous of each other. Nobody's mad, you know what I mean? So they know who they are, you know, and Rosa's like, you talking to your girls from Philly again? Yeah, you know, because they know me, understand. I remember one time years ago, somebody had made a compliment. She said, well, you know, your teeth look good. She said, you know, I said, well, my teeth always look good. She said, yeah, once you got them fixed, we are been friends for so long, I forgot. They fixed my teeth when I was...
Yeah, because then you suck your thumb or something?
Yeah, but I had also fell down the steps and broke my two front teeth, and they were jagged. And so they've known me so long that they said, didn't the Navy fix your teeth? And I'm like, I forgot. They know me that long. You know what I mean? Or, you know, as I tell people, they say, is Sonny Boy her real daddy? Right. You know, that kind of thing, because they know everything about you. So anyhow, so staying on point. We're talking about, you know, when friends become lovers. I'd love to hear from you guys out there.
Absolutely.
You know, has that happened? And if it did happen, how did it turn out for you and her, or for him and them? So, it was something I do want to put out as our audience is expanding. You know, as I've said several times, you know, we got one umbrella and we're all under it. So what I like is that more men are tuning into the show, and I don't care if you're straight, trans, young, old, what your identity is. I don't care. You're in the human race.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Anybody can break your heart.
That's true.
And anybody can bring you joy. You know, so if you're human and you're talking, and you've been on the planet and you've been interacting with other human beings, come tune into our show, because I assure you there's some video that you'll be able to relate to.
Absolutely.
Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have 4% of our viewers are men.
Oh, is it that? Yeah, because I know she knows the numbers. Yeah. You know, so with that, I think that's where I'm at about that. You know, I mean, I guess we would go further, but you guys talk to us, please, how you feel about that, how you would feel about dating, you know, a person who used to be your best friend or is your best friend, and how do you navigate that? And one point I do want to make sure I circle back to, as I stated when the show first came on, is when you change the dynamics with your relationship, let's not forget, you don't live by yourself in this world. It changes the dynamics for other people too. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, I thought y'all was just friends. What? Y'all living together? What? Y'all getting married? So now they got to look at them differently, because you guys aren't just buddies anymore. Right. Y'all getting ready to get hooked up and booked up too. So remember that as well. And oftentimes everybody ain't going to be rooting for you.
Absolutely.
Because a bad marriage can mess up a good friendship.
Yes.
Okay, truly, you know what I mean? And that's not always the end all be all. Some people are supposed to be just friends, and you can still love each other very deeply, but you don't have to, you know, cross that line. Right. But once you do cross that line, you know, how did we get here? You know how you got there. Right. You know how you got there. You know, the thing is, do you stay there? And again, as I say, you can't unring the bell. You know, there's no reversing that. You know, well, I like her better as a friend. Well, you had to go across the river to find out how deep it was.
Right, and it's never, your friendship's never gonna be the same once you cross that line. Regardless of whatever the outcome is, your relationship is never gonna be the same.
Well said.
So you gotta remember that as well. Said.
Now, but I would ask you this, you know, let's say it happened to Rosa and I, you know, we met, I knew I was attracted, but I knew I liked her. I knew I liked her, and she was just so sassy, and I like that, you know. So now that we've, you know, connected and we've been married several years, God forbid, if something was to undo this and we found ourselves not married anymore, could we still be friends?
Are you asking me that, or
I'm
just
asking
posing
you that
question?
I'm posing that question to you, boo.
I think it's going to depend on how we depart, because that plays a lot. I know that you're a good person. I know that you are a person that I would love to be friends with, but if how does the saying go? You find out who you're married to once.
Oh yeah, break up. I say you never know your lover till you leave them.
Exactly.
Right.
So depending on how nasty it is, then you know I probably wouldn't have anything to say to you. But if it ended fairly, then I can see us being.
Well,
friends.
who defines what fair is? You know.
Well, when we both are not, you know, upset to the point. Whereas if I see you, you know, I'm gonna kick her ass when I see her, you know, like that part.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared of the little Aries.
Whatever. I'm just saying that for an example. Or, you know, when I see you, it's like, hey, how are you? You know, whatever the case may be. So I think we could be friends. I would
after some time
want to be your friend, but it would depend on how it ends. For me.
That's a good deal. You okay? As you guys know, we don't script this. You know, we just have the conversation. Yeah. And as we talked, there's times I have no idea what's going to come out of her mouth. No idea. A couple of times I had to stop the camera. Hold on. You said what?
She's so full of it.
I know, but I think I could be your friend. I would want to be your friend, but but after the funeral, I'm not sure. I don't know what mood I'm in. You must be friends with a ghost.
Y'all I don't mean it first. Something happened to me. Look at Sharon, just so y'all know.
And you know we look at too much CSI and what's the Dateline?
No, the ID channel all together.
The ID, no, but seriously, you know, I don't think I'd ever stop loving you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But sometimes even the best of things, you know, come to an end. You know, it's like we can't be together anymore, but I love her very much and I'm wishing her the best and, you know, whatever, you know, I'd like to think that I'm evolved enough to be able to handle that. I'd be in the hurt locker, but, you know, it's part of life. Part of life. Now, we going to really talk after we stop filming. So
I know I'm not. It's too hot and I'm hot, tired, and bothered. So
okay.
We ain't talking. I got to get myself together.
I know you're hot. But in any event, y'all, look, as always, we're wishing you the very best.
Of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke. And to those who celebrate, happy 4th of July.
Yeah, I celebrate. Greatest country on the face of the earth.
Okay. You heard it from her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Y'all stay healthy. Bye-bye.